Yeah, we are live. We have my
Awesome.
awesome. Yeah, we are live. We got James in house. How's it going, buddy?
Pretty good, brother. How you guys
Yeah,
doing?
awesome. Yeah, doing good. And
Doing
hopefully
good,
everybody
man.
else out there is hanging out. I think saw Deliberately Bearded out there. Jersey Ron, he's out there. But of course, we got special guest, my awesome friend Adam. What's going on, buddy, from Hanyakers?
What's going on, Andy, James? Pleasure to be with you guys tonight, man.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. It's been kind of a crazy time, and I thought, it'd be kind of fun to really kind of get one of my favorite most. I think that you are one of those people that you can look up to the most and just be, because you're just so zenish.
Don't be
talking to you.
putting a bunch of pressure on me, buddy, right off the bat. We just fired this thing up, damn it.
It's all the, yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of nice to have a little bit of good conversation and not talking about all the stuff that's going on around us.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm so
Craziness.
tired of hearing about it. I'm just like, there's only so much, and then you're like, the first time yesterday, I was like, okay, what's the new numbers? What's the new numbers? What's the new numbers? What's the new
Right.
numbers? And today I'm like, hey, it's the same numbers, and now it's just like some of it doesn't
Yeah.
even move. You're like,
Exactly. I'm going to be a senior citizen before it's decided.
Right.
yeah. So I said, it's great to have a good amount of good friends to be able to talk to. What's going on, Twitch? El Tomahawk Tommy, what's going on?
What's up, Tomahawk?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for jumping in.
What's up, Ron?
Thanks for coming in. I got Iowa in here too. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
Justin's awesome, man. I really like Justin. We talk, not every day, but we talk, I'd say regularly. I get some of his gear and he gets some of my gear. And yeah, I love Justin, man. Good dude.
He is a very good dude. There's a couple people that I've really enjoyed. Hanyaker being one, and Justin being one of the other ones. And there's I got a handful, maybe a little bit more, maybe 10. But I'll tell you that some great people that I hang out with, especially the companies that are just kicking butt. I mean, I was thinking about just these fall scents. Just the fall scents alone.
Mhm.
What a kick butt fall this has been, right? What have you tried out, James?
From anybody or
Yeah,
No.
anybody. You can name whatever you're thinking.
What have I tried? I tried Black Rebel. I tried Chronic Beard.
Mike's good. Yeah, Mike's good.
What else I had? There's a few others. I can't really. Those are the only two coming off my head right now.
Yeah, so I had the opportunity to try Hanyaker's Witch's Breath, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was one of the best. I got earthy out of it. I hear other people tell me there was some other stuff they got out of it, but I thought it was like an earthy cologne kind of vibe to me.
It's definitely different, man. Definitely different.
So good. And then I'm about ready to pull the trigger on Brown Country after tonight. So looking forward to trying to get into that, because you come out with that yearly.
I do. Mm-hmm.
And
And the
I'm
only
looking-
the reason I do that is just simply because I'm an Indiana boy. I was born in Indiana. And so we did a lot of family get-togethers in Brown County. So it's kind of just a special one to me. So even if it sells 5, it's just going to still come out every year just because it's a special one to me.
Right.
I love that. I absolutely love that. We also have Mandy. What's going on, Mandy?
What's up, Mandy?
So I absolutely love that. So I've told you this before, that my granddad's a Hoosier. So,
Yeah.
and he has so many good stories about growing up in Indiana. And I it's just, to me, it's just such a great place to be from. And when I go to family reunions there, and I haven't gone in a while, but it's when I have been to some of them, it's just such a good place to go and hang out. Lots of really down to earth people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a big Indiana guy. That's just all I can say.
That's good. It's a good thing. So are you so would you say that you were a University of Indiana fan? I think we've kind of talked about this before, but are you an University of Indiana fan? And then how do you feel about Notre Dame when you're thinking about?
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I don't watch any sports, and the only sport I will watch is Indiana college basketball.
There you go.
But when the Hoosiers are struggling, which they seem to do every year these days, Dude, I root for any Indiana team. I'm not a big Purdue fan, but that's kind of because we hate each other. But I mean, other than that, man, like I have no problems with Notre Dame and stuff. But if Hoosiers aren't in it, man, and there's an Indiana team, I'm that Indiana. I'm that I root for whoever it is.
Good for you. And that's so my daughter actually moved. I must have been 20 minutes away. She's on the Michigan side, but she's 20 minutes away from Indiana. So she's been bragging about the fact that she can go down to South Bend and hang out. I'm a big Notre Dame fan. So
yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, I got to South Bend. I'm going to go get the shirt. And I'm like, shush, just shush. I'm going to go get the shirt. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I'll get one for you for Christmas. I don't know.
She's taunting you with it, huh?
Yeah, it's like every year, if anybody tradition is they create the shirt for Notre Dame football,
right?
And it is out there, and I never buy it because it's usually sold out by the time I get to it. But yeah, she's all about it.
Well, it's the little things, man. It's the little things. If you can get your hand on something like that small that makes you happy or whatever. You know,
that's right. So growing up, you grew up in Indiana, and you had a lot of, and your granddad's really, because you moved to Illinois at one point.
Yeah, I actually have spent the majority of my life in Illinois, but just the memories that are ingrained into me from traveling back so often to visit family, because my dad, we moved over here when I was real young. Because he had a job transfer over here, and but we'd go back so often. I'd spend my summer vacations there, and then blah 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 blah. Right, but just the memories that are ingrained in me from going back with all my family being there. It was just that's what I really like meshed with, you know. So Indiana's always just been home, regardless. Even though it's not really my home. I mean, that's the way I feel about it, at least.
Yeah, I can understand that. Your James is from Cali, so that's always. Do you consider Cali more home, or do you consider Florida more home?
More, I guess. Well, my family is in California, so. But I mean, I've been in Florida the longest, so I mean, I guess this would kind of be considered home. But I mean, it's still. Second home, I guess. But I mean, it's first home is obviously going to be my hometown. So,
man, talk about just opposite sides of the state, brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I came here when I was 12, so I really had no choice.
Yeah, James is the extremist, man. That's his new nickname, the extremist.
No doubt. I was thinking about that. Unless he went to Maine, you couldn't get any
further. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty far away. That's awesome, though. That do you feel like when you went to different cultures, I think, because Floridians are very different than anything on the West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely it's definitely different than from California from what I experienced. I think California is more like a younger crowd, more, you know what I'm saying, and obviously Florida's just for their retirement state.
Right.
It's just like. So I think it's majority. I would like to know the percentage wise of how many old people are in Florida.
A lot of them, man.
Give me a lot.
I think that, yeah. So my grandma grew up in Clearwater, and she loved being a Floridian. Loved it. Very much like my granddad loved being a Hoosier. Right. His heart was always in Indiana. And he's always had that. He always considered himself a Hoosier, and how he ended up marrying a Southerner. He married a Southern belle, so he's always been. I'm a Hoosier, but I married a Southerner, and I lived most of my life in the Southwest.
So James, I got a question for you, man. Being in Florida, like a fear of mine are freaking sinkholes, man. And I hear you guys got a crap ton of sinkholes over your way.
I haven't experienced it. Thank God. Every time I cross the bridge, I'm like, oh my God, please don't go down.
Oh man.
So that's really like a fear, I guess. I'm like, what I want to be. I always get the question like, would I want to be in a hurricane or would I want to be in an earthquake? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, California's got a lot of earthquakes. But yeah, I mean, I have driven over bridges and I'm like, oh my God, please don't let the bridge go out. Or something
man.
like,
I mean, TV doesn't help,
it can happen
man.
anywhere. It happen anywhere.
Yeah, TV doesn't help, man. I watch some of these shows like on Weather Channel or whatever, man, and I know what people are thinking. Why the hell is he watching the Weather Channel? But I mean, like, right,
because we're older.
I guess. But yeah, these people just freaking falling into a hole when they're in the middle of their sleep, dude, and never found and shit. It's like, damn.
Ron said he
Weather
has people on his property.
Yeah, Weather Channel actually has good content on it. I'm going to say that. There are interesting shows like what he's talking about. Now, it's mostly like scary death from weather of some sort.
Right. Right.
Like
so the weather.
Sinkholes. So do you see a lot of sinkholes? Like just pop out of nowhere, or you just?
I mean, I've only seen them I've never seen them like, personally, but I've seen them on like the weather. I mean, news or something like that in a different county or whatever. But I've never seen one around here.
It's just crazy. I can't even imagine
that. Ron's from Florida. Deliberately bearded. He's in Florida. He's in Newport Richie, and he said he just had a sinkhole, or he had a sinkhole on his property. They had filled it in.
Holy moly!
That's scary stuff, man.
That's crazy, man.
For real. So you have your house, or your house especially, and be as part of that. I'm like, oh my god.
Hey, Tyson.
Yeah, I'd have to. I'd probably dial the number to have somebody coming over to fill that in so fast there'd be smoke coming off the phone.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know why, man. That always just caught me as like a major fear after watching some of those shows, knowing you could just be going about your day and the straight up earth just open up and swallow you.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Really, that's like, so not only do they have hurricanes that will wipe you off the face of the map, but they also have just sinkholes that will get you from below, and huge pythons that are just now domesticated and running around in the forest, and alligators. Don't forget just the alligators.
Yeah.
In every single body of
Christmas, James. You might have to rethink this, pal.
It's time to move, buddy. It's time to move.
Dang.
Oh man. Now we're about to get rain right now from a damn hurricane, like in a couple of days.
Is that the one that went to Nicaragua, whatever it was?
Yeah, it's like supposed to like swing back, I guess. Visit Florida.
Seems like there's one every other week, man.
Right.
Just thinking that. Yeah, kind of hurricanes, politics.
Yeah, old people.
Armageddon, folks. No, I think that we have. That's crazy though. Charisse, my daughter, lived in Orlando for a bit, and she said she absolutely loved it there. I guess if you're there for a bit and you can get past the sinkholes and hurricanes, it's a great place to be.
Yeah, I mean, the people I don't think I've heard a lot of bad things from the people that live there. They're either hardcore love it, or that's really all I hear. I don't hear, oh, it sucks. Right. I never hear that.
No, and most people,
unless they keep it to themselves.
Darn it, I hated this place. I moved down here and all I got was sinkholes and hurricanes.
Yeah, my life's a living hell.
Damn alligator in my backyard.
Yeah,
eating my dogs.
Coming out of the sinkhole.
There's always that grumpy old man. I think that's man, never happy with wherever he lives. Wife dragged me down here.
Yeah.
Dog was eaten by alligators. She wants to play bridge all the time.
Always wants friends over, sit out on the patio.
The lanai, that's what they call it.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Right? But, no, they call it a Florida room.
Florida room. Okay. Yep.
That's their lanai patio.
They straight own it. They straight made their own room.
That was the first time I ever saw this. So my grandparents lived in Sarasota, and I used to visit them when I was in high school and college. And when I used to visit them, the first time I saw their new house that they moved into, it was all enclosed pool, beautiful, next to a lake. And I'm like, wow, this is like really, really nice. And it was air conditioned, beautiful room. And it was, like she called it a lanai, but Florida room. Yeah, where it's just basically a pool patio. enclosed completely by glass.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I'd take one if I could get my hands on one.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a nice house. It was really nice. I think they were well off, but it was nice to go visit them and go swimming.
What's up,
And
Scott?
you go swimming anytime. That was the coolest thing about it. You go swim. It was inside, so it was heated and perfect temperature for any day.
So you got a request from Tyson saying, Adam, can you say next on 105.9 soft sounds of Carrie Underwood?
Damn, that's a mouthful, player. No, I seen that in the comments, and I'm like, even when I was in grade school, people would say, "Are you from Kentucky?" Like they would just generalize me from Kentucky for some reason, thinking that was South or something because I had a little bit of an accent. So I totally understand. It's funny, you don't hear that stuff when you're talking, or unless you hear like a recording of yourself or whatever, then you kind of get it a little bit. But
he said it's his birthday. Come on, say it.
It's my
okay,
birthday
what am I? Hey, can you put it up on the screen so that I can
let me
read
go
what the
grab
hell
it.
he
Let me
wanted?
go grab it.
Because
Let me
that
go
was a
grab this.
mouthful.
Yeah, let me go grab it. I gotta go find it again. I gotta go and I hate that.
It's just a couple comments up.
Yeah. I just I had to go find my mouse. I have it on another screen. There we go.
All right, let's see
Yeah.
here. Okay, next on 105.9, soft sounds of Carrie Underwood. I don't know how that went over, man, but I did my best,
Let him be the judge.
He has the radio voice, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He totally does. There's a few people that have really good radio. I don't have it, but I know that that bass voice. Who Chris has it. So TCTBNL, that channel to be named later. He has a really good radio voice. Flying Beardsman, a great radio voice.
Yeah.
Dan has the great jazzy voice at the end of his life. Have you ever heard that thing that he does?
Hey, this is Dan C.
Yeah, that midnight as you're driving across the country and you're listening to somebody requesting a bunch of love songs or some shit,
What was that show? What was that? Delilah?
Yeah, Delilah.
Delilah.
You're so bored in the middle of Oklahoma, so this is all that you get.
This one goes out to you, Janine. From Terry with love.
That's right.
That's awesome.
That's so funny. I remember being in the middle of nowhere and having it. That was one of the only stations you get. Either that, or it was the Spanish station, or it was like old country. Now I would probably absolutely love the old country and would have stuck on that but back when I was in high school, no way. I was all about rock and not about country.
Yeah. I'm a rocker myself, man.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. This is kind of a cool thing. My sister is in Nashville, but she lived in LA for a very long time. And she works with bands, and she's a publicist. So she publishes all of the stuff that a band will be coming out with and puts it out to magazines and radio stations. And she writes all the blurbs and everything for them. So she reaches out to me and says, "Hey, Andy, I know you're trying to do something with this rock and review thing." Because I've been playing, I get on my first review was I got on my guitar and started playing, and I heard you wanted to do some intros and maybe some background music. And so she hooked me up with some rock band.
Nice, man.
So I meet with him next week, and I'm going to do an intro and a background piece.
Oh, sweet. So that like coming up here?
Yeah. Very quick.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah, very quick. He gave me a couple of his Spotify. He's worked with a few big bands that I had never heard of, but I look forward to, meeting with him and seeing if we can come up something for my intro, and then, probably some song of his. I play, he has probably a good playlist, so I could probably put a song on every review I'm doing, just as a background kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of cool.
Like give him some airtime for you using his stuff type of thing, even up type of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm all about, and giving him as much publicity as he wants. He's a bearded dude. He's a bearded rocker, is what I was told. So, and he loves AC/DC and a lot of the
Well,
metal
give
that
him
I
my
love.
business card then, damn it. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it, and it was like, yeah, you should really like him. He has a beard too.
Yeah, that makes all the difference. You guys would get along great. You know,
You got a beard
You got a
too.
beard.
you know,
got a
ex-con
beard.
with 3 convictions. You guys should get along great because he has a beard, you know?
But he's got a beard.
Yeah.
He's not me. He's
As
perfect.
we all know from this community, that we all don't all get along because
Yeah,
we
kind
got beards. Actually, what's so funny is I realized that over the last few months is that the people that I have really close friends, they're just awesome. And they got beards, but they're just awesome people. It's just, it's the one thing in common, and then you can go from there, right?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It always takes something to draw somebody together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And being a beard geek, beardo, they're really, if you think about it, we are collecting as reviewers and consumers of your products. This community itself, just the community on Instagram, they're all crazy oil fanatic, like just nuts.
Yeah.
I have a collection of like 300 oils. Who does that? As my wife says. I said,
Well-
I do that. And I'm going to keep doing that.
And my girlfriend's like, I don't want to hear you complain about my clothes, and you got your oils.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's kind of like when I was a kid. Every time I went to one of the little stores or whatever, I had to get a Hot Wheels or Matchbox car.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
That's
So-
exactly the same
and it's
thing.
also like fishing, man. Is this company, is the next one that they got coming out going to be the best one yet? And you're just always like searching for something that's going to knock your socks off.
That's so true. So this is what I'm going to tell you that I was blown away, and this is where I was going with the fall scent thing. I was blown away with the scents this year. I did not get into the fall thing last year. I was just getting my hands, kind of getting into the different companies. And this year I got in the fall scents, and I didn't do a lot of companies, but I did Chronic, I did You, and I did Iowa, and I did 10th Kingdom. And absolutely none of them were, some were a little, I did a couple apples in there. There was a couple apples. But other than that, You and Iowa, probably the most profound, just the experience of them was so different. Like you were like, how the heck did they do this? And it's kind of an Adam thing. Like you were always, the Memoirs was the same way. Zenland, you're just like,
Well, you got to
How-
have a warped freaking mind, man.
it's so awesome. I'm just like, how do you get that in? And then, not everybody's going to appreciate it, but I know I do. It's like fine wine. You're like, not everybody's going to appreciate this fine wine, but I do. And holy moly, do I get it. Holy
Yeah,
moly, do
that is something that I've talked about in other live streams before that really took me a considerable amount of time, and I still, to an nth degree, struggle with it. Is the difference between, okay, Adam, you like this and it matches what you were trying to portray within this scent profile, release it, versus, well, are the masses going to like this? And at the end of the day, man, kind of like you and I were talking in the backstage, you just have to be yourself. Not everybody's going to like everything, man. Like, it's just, I've had to come to that realization. There were a couple people who looked at Witch's Breath when they smelled it and decided the trash can's the only place for that. You know what I mean? And that's fine. That's
okay.
fine, man.
It's really okay.
I don't have hard feelings for that, man. Everybody is different, and
Right. You can't really
so-
please everybody's senses. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
a foodie and I'm a scenty. I'm gonna try to figure out. It's like a beardy, but that doesn't really make it a scenty. Like I just love different scents, and I like different. Just like I like Thai food and I like Chinese food and I like Mexican food. I can like all three of those foods, but they're very different.
Right.
And you'll find even within Thai food, there's crazy things in Thai food. There's southern Thailand, there's northern Thailand, there's so many different areas that you can go in just Thailand. So it's not just it's the same way with scents. I just find that the deeper you go in, the more you're like, whoa, how the heck especially a good artist with it. And that's the thing that Adam has. That's what Iowa has. That's what Copper Johns has. By the way, just to let you know, Copper Johns did say my beard is looking magnificent. Guess who I'm
It
trying
is looking
this week?
good, man.
Looking good. I'll tell you that Tyson is kicking some butt with that.
See, that's another guy that I talked to, and just a phenomenal person. I will tell you right now, I'm obviously not a consumer to the level of you guys and the people in the chat and stuff, but that wins me over way before and way more than the product does. The owners and stuff, the guys. I can't tell you, and I'm pretty bad at it, but these guys will reach out to me, and it's just like they're so cool. They're just phenomenal guys.
Yeah,
and you can't help but support them, even as an owner. You know, Justin will buy something and be like, well, dude, I can't leave this guy hanging. And it's not that I don't want to buy from him. It's just that I'm not thinking about that all the time. You know, I'm consumed within our own little world here of doing what we're doing, you know, but I'm like, I can't leave that dude hanging, man. So, you know, I'll go grab something from him or whatnot. And, you know, but Tyson's just another one that is just so cool, man.
You know what? We had him on, and I've been talking to him. You're exactly right, Adam, and I think James, you probably feel the same way.
Yeah.
I found that my relationship with them dictated the fact that I wanted to try them more, but then you wanted to support them more because you got more into what they were doing. You got into their vibe. Like, I know who Adam is. I like his vibe, and I like what he's trying to do. I understand who he is as a person. And then I want to buy more of his stuff. And just because I just love hanging out. I'll shoot him a DM. I'll shoot Tyson a DM to say what's going on. You know, what's going on?
Yeah. That's the cool part to me. You know, I'm on my phone constantly all day long, even as I'm sitting here, my phone's blowing up. And, but it's those relationships are huge. You know, so I love building those relationships with guys, because, you know, eventually somebody's going to have a question. Eventually somebody is going to have a problem possibly or whatever. And you want the scenario to be the best possible, you know, when that time comes. So otherwise, if I'm not making stuff at the time, what the hell else am I going to do? I'm going to communicate with people. You know, you got to sell your stuff. You got to make them, you know, but it's just been a great experience. But the other owners, you know, not run on forever. The other owners that I talked to are amazing.
Yeah, I would totally agree with you. And especially the ones that we have just even within this stream. I mean, you got Justin, hell of a guy. Got Tyson, a really hell of a guy as well. I mean, just amazing people that when you talk to them, they're interesting. They're not like you can have a conversation about so many other things as well that is going on with them. That's, you know, we can talk about Indiana for a while and talk about cool things that we did growing up. You know, that's just the kind of things that you do with some of the good connections you make. And who knew that it was about beard oil and beards? Who knew?
No, I mean, you got me. Years ago, I mean, I never knew anything. Recently, a couple years ago, I've only known about this stuff. I mean, I've been growing facial hair since I was like 19, 20, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Who knew that your best friends would be, you know, some guy who lives in Indiana or Illinois.
Right. Yeah. You know,
that's who, like, I'll talk to these people. Who are you talking to? Yeah, I don't go next door. I go to Instagram and I talk to my good friends online.
Right, man. Yeah.
We'll go and talk. Because those are you know what's so fun about it? Even in, oh, cool. Right on. Got Beer Jensen house.
Hey, what's
nice,
up,
man?
Yeah. I just ordered his Cubano. Oh, I cannot wait. I've been trying to do the unboxings a little bit like every week because I'll buy a huge amount and like on payday, and then I'll get and unbox it, and then I have like a 2-week gap where I don't. So now I'm just doing this. Wait very patiently, do some at a time. then do it the next week, and then
I asked this question. Can't remember what stream I was on last when I asked it, but I'll ask you guys too, because I'm always curious about this, if you don't mind. Like Andy, you said you had like 300, different things, and James, I'm sure you have tons as well, man. Like, do you find yourself like eventually having to give them away or throw some away because you can't get to them and they just sit there for so long, or how's that work, man?
I'll try and like just today, like my cousin that lives in Wisconsin messaged me, and he's like, he's had a beard for a while, but he was like, hey, I've been checking out your videos or checking out what you do and stuff, and then like any tips or whatever, and I'm like, bro, I'll send you something. You know what I'm saying? I'll help you out. I'll let you know what I do, or I'll let you know, because he said he just can't get to where his is just like coarse and thick, and just like you can't get it to where it's just like knotty. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to try and like teach him, what to do. I mean, I'll probably send him some stuff, a little package or something like that. So,
anybody who walks in my house it's like Oprah. If you have a beard and you walk in my house, you will get beard products. That's the way it works. And it doesn't matter who you are. It's like, and then because I did sit on some too. I learned very early on, unless I really, really think they're a cool bottle, I'll never open it again.
I can see that.
I'll keep those, but anybody walking, and my kids have friends they're like 23, 20-year-old kids, and they all have beards. So I'm constantly giving them products. And then any of their friends who have facial hair whatsoever, you get a beard product, you get a beard product, you get some conditioner, you get some soap. And I've had people walk through and I'm just like, they can walk out with like 5 things. They're like, what the heck just happened?
Right.
Like, I didn't even know this stuff was around. That's right. You didn't know anything was around. And subscribe to my beard channel too.
Subscribe. That's like as you walk out the door. Like, you can't leave until you subscribe to my channel.
Like and subscribe.
Like, hold on. Wait before you leave. Like and subscribe.
You got a little tablet sitting by the door.
Well, yeah.
Sign into your YouTube right now, buddy. I give you some stuff. You're my kids' friends. I don't let you leave until you like and subscribe.
I just let you get a ham sandwich out of the refrigerator. At least you could do subscribe to the damn channel.
Yeah. You're like the bouncer, like the YouTube bouncer. Like, subscribe to my channel. Are you on the list?
Are you on the list? Are you on? Are you liking it? I saw your last video. I did. I liked it. It was good. I thought it was good.
You're like checking. I don't see it.
I find go ahead, Andy.
No, go ahead, Adam.
I was just going to say, I find what I do with a lot of mine is I wear them at night. Like, that's when I get a chance to change up from my stuff. Is all like, okay, I'm getting ready to go to bed. I've smelt this all day. Let me grab something from another company, put it in at night, so I can enjoy something different. So I find myself using a lot of the other company's stuff at nighttime. But at nighttime, I'm up all night. Like, last 3 days, I've been up until 3 o'clock in the morning. So I get to enjoy it, feel a little longer than usual.
Were you doing products or?
No, I've always been a night owl, man. And then with this bullshit going on, excuse my language, with the bull crap going on, I just kind of watching that kind of stuff. And
I usually do that. I am dedicating myself this time, and I probably will do it with a couple other companies coming up soon. I am not doing nothing but Copper Johns for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I want that Inland Sea to be the Inland Sea minerals to really a good test, and I don't want to put anything else in because I want to make. I've read so many good benefits of this. I don't want to have any bias. I don't want to have anything else in there to say, yeah, but I tried this other. I tried Hanyaker's butters and I threw those in at night, and so have somebody come back to me and say you use something else. I wanted to say, hey, I gave him an absolutely good test run.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be, honestly, man.
I think so. I think that there's times where you have some down days, and if you've tried their products before, like for you, I did a really excellent test for about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks actually, I think, on yours when I did your review. Now, new scents coming out, I know what to expect. I'll probably do 4 or 5 days, do some cool videos, do some fun stuff, and then I might try some different things. But I know what to expect from yours, unless you've changed your formula, which you probably
Right.
haven't.
Right.
So I don't feel like I just want to try the new scent at that point.
Absolutely.
But for Copper Johns, who I've never tried, and I think I owe it to him to be able to give him that level of testing, just like I did with yours. I didn't try anybody else with Hanjakers as well, because I wanted to say that your balm is this, your butter is this, and there wasn't anything else other than maybe a conditioner.
Yeah, and then you run into the and then I don't know about you guys, but for me, my beard is different day to day. Some days it doesn't feel the same as it does the day before. So you know, it reacts different. So like you're saying, Andy, if you're going to use something, how do you know from one day to the next? It probably, especially with something like Tyson's got going on, with something special in there like that, man. You know, that's a great way to kind of give it a chance, man. I think you're doing that the right way, brother.
I think so. I think and I think that especially with what I was reading about the different ingredients that were in this one specific, but it is a good way. You want to give somebody a good chance to say, hey, I totally agree, because you don't, as a reviewer, you don't want to have somebody say it didn't work for me. Now, granted, everybody's beard is so different,
right,
that you really, my experience with Hanjakers is going to be different than somebody else's, and that's what probably Adam, you probably run into that a couple times.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I can tell night by night when I go to different companies and I put them in. Some absorb faster than others in my beard. Some take a little bit longer. The way I wake up in the morning, when it feels, the way my beard feels. So there's definitely differences. And even if you got a company that has the same carrier blend and somebody that doesn't do crazy crap like Tyson and put some seed minerals in there, right, or whatever, like ratios of things and stuff, that
right.
they put within their stuff can also react with a certain beard a different way. So,
oh, that's interesting. Gary says that he does it. He knows within a couple days. I get it. Okay.
Yeah, I think Gary makes a good point. I think you have to give it at least a couple days. Like I was saying earlier, your beard changes from day to day. At least mine does. So to try it once and give up on it and say yes, it's either awesome, or oh, it made my beard feel this way or that way, I don't think that's a fair shake. That's me personally.
No, I don't think you can do a fair share as a reviewer. I know, when I first got in, you didn't know how long, because you want to roll out as many videos as you can, but then you just realize you just can't. There's no way that you can try 2 or 3 days worth of products and say this is a bad or a good company.
Right.
If you give it, to me, it's like a minimum of a week, and that's a minimum. If I have more products, I'll just give it more. I'll double up on it and have a great time. And I think that it's a good opportunity to get some information about the company, get to know them a little bit if you've not really talked to them. I'll tell you that I have a Chesapeake thing coming up. I just have like a collection right now that I'm going to do the same thing, where I'm just going to spend a good time with Chesapeake and his scents, and his stuff is great too. There's really very rarely do you find just like junk. James or Adam, have you guys found like some companies where you're just like, whoa, that just did not do?
And not recently. There's been some in the past where I haven't done anything on it. I came across one company that was kind of closing shop, and they were like they did like hop infused like beard oil, and when I got it, I wasn't expecting it because it was really earthy, and it wasn't like, it was just kind of taken back by it because I wasn't like expecting that. I was expecting to get like some other kind of scent to it, but like this is like, it never really smelled like hop like in a beer product. But yeah, I think I ended up I still have the product, but I'm just like, I don't know if that's for me. I mean, even though I drink beer, I love beer or whatever, but I'm like, never actually smelled like a whole like thing of hops.
How was the feel though of how was it okay as far as like the feel in beer?
I think it did feel really pretty nice. Like I said, I didn't do a review on it because really they were going out of business, so I really didn't do nothing with it because they were pretty much closing up shop. They they had discounted all their stuff like
Right.
50-60% off. I mean, they were out. I mean,
Yeah.
so never really like did the review on it because nobody can get it. So
Right.
so
Probably the right move.
it's kind of just too late. I'm like, can't really do nothing now. So I'd rather just try the product and see how it is. But it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't that bad. But I mean, I think that was all you had. You know what I'm saying? I think it's probably maybe a lot of people just didn't. It wasn't everybody's cup of tea. You know, and not everybody probably liked that scent or whatever. And he probably wasn't selling that much, so he probably just went out.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that the ones that I've tried that are not as good, and I didn't know that they were not as good until I retried them after I've had good, right? So it was the store-bought Target ones. I bought some Duke Cannon. Scent wasn't bad, but I realized after I got the amazing stuff, you're like, yeah, this is average road stuff. This is, I wasn't impressed anymore because I've had so much better. But when you first try it, you're like, whoa, it did really stop the beard itch at the time. So I guess it did that. But when you get into some really good stuff that's really healthy for you, you're like, whoa, that's so different. So different. And interesting chat because we have Gary. Yeah, Gary has some really good points here. Like he said that he tries 3 before he does a review or try out a new product. He's saying 3 days of not trying anything just to get that experience of what is this doing for my beard.
True.
It's a lot of it's you would know whether it really does go with your beard or not.
Yeah, in 3 days mine would feel like hay or
Oh my
straw.
God.
Mine would too.
If I'm making something, if I'm making product, I generally don't wear anything, or if I'm devising a new scent or whatnot, I don't wear anything. But and later on that day, I'm like, holy cow, man! Like I need to emergency get something in it dries up. My beard dries up and feels so nasty if I don't have anything in it.
Yeah,
I'm the same way.
The Phoenix air here is so dry here that it just dries out really, really quickly here. It's a crazy amount. That's why now I just am sticking pretty much with butters. Actually, and it's COVID too. I don't need to style it as much. I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
Nobody's seeing me except for the people that always see me.
Well, that's the same thing. If they're wearing, they have to wear masks. So I have to wear masks almost every day. So it's like, especially at work, that's like, I might style it on my day off, but like going to work, I'm just like, I might comb it after I'm done, oiling it up and whatever. But I don't style it unless I'm going somewhere. I have the day off.
Yeah, that's another thing is even me. I'm same way, James. Since I've stopped running the gym, I don't have to be in public as much, and so I really have stopped styling mine as well. Like I don't blow dry my beard anymore. Very rarely. Now it's just kind of, get out of the shower, put my product in, and let it air dry, and then I kind of did a little trimming to where it looked okay, just the way it was, natural. Right. And I just let it go, man. That way I'm not putting any excess heat or anything on it. It's taking this time to see if I can maybe I kind of wanted to run a test to see if maybe I was blow drying it too much, putting too much heat on it, this, that, the other. But okay, it's been nice not having to style it. I'll tell you that.
Right. So Gary's asking how because you're still a gym bunny a little bit. You're still going to the gym.
I gathered a crap ton of home gym equipment back in my early 20s when I first started working out because I was going to a Gold's Gym with a couple other people, and it was just like at the time I was in my early 20s, so now I'm the age of the people I'm about to talk about. But right, but it was just like singles night, man. Or even if you weren't single, you were away from your husband or away from your wife, and everybody was Mingle City. And it was like I trained where I supersetted things, so I needed a couple different things back to back, and people would be sitting and talking, and I needed it. And so at the time, I had a really good job, and I went out and bought everything that I needed for a home gym. And And so I do it at the house. I have everything here at the house. The gym's actually closed due to the COVID stuff and didn't reopen. They let it go under. So,
It's
but
it's too
well, I mean, it's too bad for them. For me, I really enjoy not running the place anymore. It's a lot less stressful. I have a lot more fun doing what I'm doing this full time,
Right.
and it's allowed me to concentrate on this more. So, but yeah,
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I think that I wish I could. I was telling my wife, I said, I wish I could make this YouTube thing more of. I really enjoy this, and maybe I wouldn't enjoy. And you're one of those people as an example that you love this before when you were running a gym, and
Mhm.
now you're doing this full time and you're still loving it.
Yeah, that just all goes to the creative aspect, man, and having interactions with people. You know, it's very hard not to love to do something when all day you are getting people reaching out to you telling you that they enjoy your products and your creations. It makes it very easy to be thankful and keep striving at doing something.
Yeah, and that's so I've been caught up with work and I've been spending a lot more time having to focus in on my day job.
Yeah.
And that's, and I think James, you've been run into that a couple times too, where this is a cool side hustle. It's a fun thing to do. The review thing is fun. We get to meet, but there's, we definitely have to focus on that one thing. And man, I would love to just be able to just get as much money as I am doing that thing.
Right.
I
Yeah.
realized that the other day. I would love to make the same amount of money that I'm doing at my day job, but do this full time, and because I just enjoy the heck out of it. I enjoy exactly what you're talking about, Adam. Talking to the people, it's so fun. I get so many cool friends. I was talking to some British guy today.
Yeah, see, that's an exact point. I'm sure Gary can attest to this because he's bigger than I am. But dude, I mean, I go from running a gym or working at a foundry and doing normal job stuff to sending product to Norway, the UK, talking to these people, Germany, all over the world now, and it's like, what else? I mean, I'm sure there's something else, but I mean, in my little realm of my world, like what else would I have done to where I am on a daily basis talking to somebody across the world?
Right.
It's kind of nuts, man.
Or to know that somebody in, like you said, Norway has your product. You know what I'm saying?
It's nuts.
So cool. So cool. That's who's the like one place where you're like, I can't believe I talked to somebody from that place, Adam.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I have a huge UK support. I have big Norway support, but I just, Australia, it's just neat. And I know everybody's like, Adam, you're a soft ass, but truly it's humbling to me and cause those guys don't have cheap shipping. Those guys pay up for getting product,
Right.
and so to know that they are willing to do that and appreciate you and your stuff that much, it's very humbling, very humbling.
Yeah.
Super cool.
And I mean, shipping's got to be like $20 to like ship it or like to something like that.
Sometimes, man, 25, it's like they'll buy one combo and pay $15-20 shipping. And it's just like,
man,
so I make sure that I invest time in whatever they need and stuff because I'm a human. I'm normal. I'm not rich. I understand what it is to spend money on stuff. And so, just like with all you guys, you know what? I'll probably end up running this business into the damn ground because I can't. Because it's like I have a soft spot to where anybody that appreciates what I do and likes my creation, it's hard for me not to help you guys out if I can. You know what I mean? It really is. So one day, maybe I'll just be, out of business from helping too much. But
You know what?
but
That's Gary. So Gary's in here too.
Mhm.
What a freaking big heart you guys you two have.
Mhm.
Copper John, same way. If he's still in here, I just did this. Beers and Banjos, awesome. I had I had just something simple last week for just, and I didn't really push it really hard, but I had a really decent turnout, and it was for Down syndrome awareness. And I didn't really push it. I didn't go and ask a lot of companies. I was just like put a couple posts. Some people asked, donated some stuff, and people are so generous in our community. Just, especially specifically, I'm talking about Gary, who contributed his stuff and then bought stuff. And bought more than I mean, it's like, you're just so blown away by that generosity that our community has. Just blown
Yeah.
away. I just was humbled. I think me and James just had a humble feeling that and it was something really simple. It wasn't really hard. We didn't have a ton of stuff to give away in auction, but we had really generous people that were interested in being nice, and I appreciate that about you, Adam. That's awesome. And Gary, of course.
Yeah, we know, Gary definitely does his share of stuff, and that's just what it is, like, I don't know, some people it's just hard not to, I don't know, I care about people that care about me, so
I like that too. And I think that there's people that care about, and I think that you care about people whether they like you or not. You just are like, I care about people. And I think that's the vibe I get from you, Adam, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I'll have people tell me all the time in comments, well, I haven't tried your product yet. I'll get around to it. And my response is, whenever you're ready, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to be like, oh, what the hell is your problem? Buy it now. Like, I don't know what that person's got going on, man. I don't know if there's 20 other companies ahead of me on their list or whether they're struggling financially or whatever, man. Right. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'll be doing this regardless of whether I'm making any money at it or not, just simply because I love to do it. I love the creative aspect of it. So anybody that hasn't tried the product for whatever reason, there's plenty of time.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about it is that good companies with good hearts, I think, stay in this business. Gary's another one. You're another one. Tyson, I see Tyson definitely growing and becoming bigger, and is quite a bit bigger now. So many great companies in this game. Iowa, just great hearts, and that's what makes this community better. Is these amazing owners that are just giving their hearts out to folks and their passion and their art. I'm sitting here talking to Gary. I'm kind of a part of a group that Gary has, and it's not really art, it's our group, I should say, but Gary's talking about some of his stuff that he's putting into some, and you're just always like, wow, that is so amazing, the art that goes into this. And I enjoy that aspect of it immensely, that you can just see the artist at work. I'll try this. What do you think about this? What do you think about always thinking of a next new scent? Right. And I think that with you, kind of it hits you, right? You're like, hey, something you may not have something in mind. All suddenly you'll just clip.
Yeah, that's exactly right, man. I try not to force anything. Like literally the other day I'm sitting watching TV and I had a name come to mind out of nowhere. And I'm like, so I wrote that down in the 2021 list of stuff I'm going to rock. You know what I mean? Like it just like stuff that just pops into my head. I don't like to search. I'm kind of that weirdo in the group that I like my stuff to kind of represent a meaning or a feeling when I create. So I've tried it before. I'm not as blessed as some of these other guys that can whip scents up left and right with no problem. Like I have to like be in the right frame of mind to do it.
I get that. I talked to Barbu a little bit ago about that as well, and he feels the same way. It's an artist that you're inspired, and some people are able to do it a little bit easier on certain. It's just a different way of thinking for them, and they're able to do it in a different way. And there's nothing wrong with it. The way that they do it is just different. But for a lot of artists, the inspiration has to hit them. And it's like in moments like that where you're like, it just hit me. oh, I got to go do this. This is what I'm going to go do. I'm going to go. I play guitar, so I totally get it.
Yeah, and see, that's the funny part is, I come from a family that has some musicians in it, and I don't have that talent. So, like, I relish this as something that I can use as my artistic expression, versus being able to put it to music or whatnot. We'll just try to put it to sense.
I love that. Isn't that fun? Have fun.
Well, but Brian in here, he plays a damn banjo. I wish
He's
I could
awesome.
do that.
Me too. He's good at it too. He's not
Yeah,
only he's excellent at it.
Over there, just finger picking away.
I love it. James is, well, that's the same way with James. So the reason why me and James are we're both hospitality guys. So we worked in restaurants, and he's that chef that is creating food that's unique, and I know that you're doing that because you've come up with some cookie, and which I don't think did we show off our desserts today?
Not yet.
Okay, so let's show those off really quick before we have to get out of here. I have a 7:00 deployment.
You got a 7:00 deployment. Here's my dessert.
There you go. Keep hydrated, folks. That's a good dessert right there, man. That's a good. What do you got going on? I got. You know what I got? I'm just going to show it off. It's Halloween candy.
Nice, man. I'm in the middle of trying to shape up. I'd give my left leg for some Halloween candy.
I said I'm just going to bring Halloween candy in. What do you got going on, Mister?
So I got these cookies right here. So yeah, cookies.
Talk our way through this.
Yeah. Talk us through it, there, James.
So,
we got like 4 minutes.
So these might sound familiar now, Adam. You can kind of see where I took it from, because I actually took it from one of your scent profiles.
Wow.
So this is actually a kind of like a mix of witch's breath. So it's got whiskey in it, it's got pumpkin, and it's got what's the other one? Damn, I'm like going brain for. Oh, it's got cranberry in it.
Wow, man, he's got the witch's breath cookie over there.
That's right. That's right.
It's got everything in there. I've never used an alcohol in a cookie before, and I mean it's a little bit there. You can kind of taste a little bit. It's cooked out, the flavor of it, but I mean the alcohol part of it, but you can taste a little bit of the whiskey.
That is super cool, man. That is super cool.
I came up with the idea. I'm like, I'll do something kind of like a little, honorable kind of thing, a little homage to what. So I started looking at your website, and I'm like, what can I make out of something? So so I saw that, and I'm like, we got everything here. So
that's super cool, man.
Why not?
Super cool. Guys, I have 3 minutes. I got deployment land tonight, and also, I went to try to give my buddy who has Wild Schwein online coming up, Mr. Joe. He's got Wild Schwein hanging out, so I hope you guys can all jump onto his. But Adam, what a pleasure again.
Man.
I told you that we're going to have you on more often. I just really love who you are as a person and your products. And so the only problem I wish I would have been able to do, and this is Brian was able to tell, I was like, when did Hanyaker really kind of hit? It was like a year and a half ago, if I remember right, where you just were like a thing in the community, at least.
Yeah, website went live around March of 19.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so I was like, why didn't I try the Elder and some of that stuff like a year ago when I could have bought it, and then I would have already had like a ton of Hanyaker stuff. And
that's on me, brother, for not letting you know about it. You know what I mean? That ain't on you.
I knew about it. And Beard and Banjos was all. I remember Beards and Banjos did it. So many people were live with your stuff, and I'm just like, oh, I'm going to try these off companies for a while.
Yeah.
And then they all disappeared, and I'm like, I probably should have tried some Hanyakers. So then I started getting into. I'm like, no wonder everybody's talking about this stuff. It's so good, and the scents are just absolutely phenomenal. So now I just have to go try. I'm going to have this area now that I'm with the companies that I really love, and I'm just going to have to try to buy as much as I can every paycheck or every other paycheck, just to get caught up.
Well, I appreciate the hell out of you, buddy. I do know that.
Yeah, for sure. It's good stuff, man. It's good to have a good friend. James, what do you got going on this week, buddy?
Really just kind of prioritizing what I have. All my beard oils and stuff over here. So I'm kind of just prioritizing and seeing what the next video is I can make. So
very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Adam, what do you got going on, man? You always got something. It sounds like you got a scent coming in. It's inspired at least. What do you got going?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead. I've been having a lot of people getting a hold of me about my winter scent Snow Blind. So I went ahead and started that process today. Probably about a week and a half out on that. Then we're gonna do some. I've had a lot of people ask me for unscented stuff, so we're gonna drop that. We're gonna do Memoirs co-wash because so many people like Memoirs, so we're gonna do that in a co-wash since everybody likes co-wash. And then I'm also going to do the scent of the co-wash and bareback in an oil and butter because everybody gets a hold of me for that scent. So we're going to do a lot of limited special releases here towards the end of the year. Not just going to stick around permanently. Just get the little things that people have been asking me for all year long. We'll finish the year off with giving them what they want.
Oh, I love that, man. That's a gift. That's a gift right there. I heard about you in a custom scent that came through. I don't remember who it was even. It was
Dan
yeah.
and Justin.
Yep.
That
I heard
was a
about
bear.
that.
That
Yeah.
one was a hard one.
But I heard it turned out really, really good. And I don't remember what was the scent profile on that one.
They just wanted a lot of dark stuff. And for me, man, for me and my experiences, when you blend a lot of dark stuff together, nothing shines. It just becomes a morphed thing, and they wanted a lot of real dark stuff: tobacco, coffee, bourbon, wood smoke, possibly gunpowder. But it ended up, I told him, I said, look, we're going to do this. I'm going to put it together the way I can that I would feel comfortable sending it to you guys. And so it had tobacco, the coffee, the bourbon, and some wood smoke that is more of a sweeter natural wood smoke that smelled like charred wood almost. Like it turned out good, and they liked it, and that's all that matters, man.
That's what I heard. I heard it was. Doesn't that just sound amazing, James?
Oh yeah, that sounds awesome. But I mean, today I actually did wear body language.
See, I love that one, man. It's not a hard hitting one, but the way it opens up, it's just, I love it, man. I love it. It's one I wear on a regular basis.
I have the body language. I have Elder, and I have Memoirs.
So you got a pretty good trio, at least in my opinion, on what I like of my stuff.
Yeah.
The Elder is so unique to me.
Yeah.
I love that one, but I appreciate you guys. I really do, man.
Yeah, well, we'll have you on again, Adam, and we'll definitely I'll hit you up. And my collection for Hanyaker definitely has to grow. Now I have to go get some. I'm going to buy a combo again, and then I'm going to go with the beard wash. So I got to get something like that going. I've heard nothing but good things. So definitely, anybody looking for a company for Movember, Hanyaker is one of the best, if not just he's top class. Right up there with so many of the great ones. Definitely try him out. Thank you very much for coming on, James. Any last words?
Yeah, it was awesome to have you on here. I mean, you always have a good positive like vibe and energy. So it's cool to talk to you and kind of just
yeah, man.
It seemed to flow pretty good with conversation wise. So it's like it's been enjoyable. So
I would agree.
Yeah, always a good time. We'll have you on again. Maybe we'll talk some Snowblind here maybe in a month or so, or maybe something else.
Yeah, man. Hit me up, man. I'm always honored to be invited, buddy.
We have a good time, man. Well, we will talk everybody else. Thank you. And you know what? The biggest thing and the reason why we do all of this, and I know Adam and James and me we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for all of you guys out there.
Correct.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I totally appreciate the conversations. It was really nice to be on a big monitor tonight because I don't know if you guys know, I'm not in my little in my bedroom today. I'm actually I'm going to jump right into work. So, but it was nice to be on the big monitor. I could read your guys' conversations and it was enjoyable. I appreciate every person that stops in. Me and James just absolutely love doing these Thursday nights, and we have so many great. Next week we have Mike from Chronic Beard, another awesome company, and so we're looking forward to talking some sense with him as well. So please join us next week. And Gojo Joe, he has a really good review. He has a really good interview as well with Meet Your Maker. So
we'll
talk to you guys later.
All right, thanks everybody.
Yep.
See you guys.
See you, buddy. And now I have to hit where's the button that I have to get out of here? There it is.